experiences with things that, not only the system does for us, but we didn't even know it would do. So we had a little bit of both. We are continuing to forge ahead with all of the setup and things that we promised to get to you. So I hope you all remember, as we've talked about all the things that we're building on top of Lofty, because this again is a Captivate CRM powered by Lofty is what we're offering, is the pipeline, the segments, the smart plans, especially the landing pages, the lead funnels, those type of things are all things that we are building on top of the standard platform. And not all of those things are available to you yet. So I've shown you things like this new maintenance plan that isn't there yet. We've also indicated that many of the things that we provided would be, we thought we could do 100% automated. Like, for example, with the maintenance plan, we're trying to figure out a way so that you can add people to a smart plan that subscribes them to the maintenance reminders every month if they're a homeowner. So as an example, if you've got a segment that's a homeowner segment, right? And so let's say you've got that checked for a bunch of contacts. Obviously, they can be members of multiple segments, but that one's checked for them. And then we want every January that they get the January reminder, and every February, the February reminder, et cetera. For now, those things are there, at least they'll be propagated to your instance of your setup. But you'll have to, when February 1st comes along, you'll highlight all that segment, which is really easy to do. It's like a two-step process where you highlight that segment, send it a mass email, and then you send an email that says, don't forget in January to do this, this, and this, right? And then there's the link, et cetera. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that as we continue to work through all of the things that are what we believe the most important communications to go out to your people to keep them going through that homeowner life cycle. Some of the things, of course, we're automating, maybe down the road a little bit. Some of the things you'll have, some things that you'll need to do, right? Some steps that you'll need to take. But we're hoping for the most part that they're minimal, and we'll continue to minimize them. But there's always going to be a part that you have to do, right? And then we also, instead of having to remember everything all the time, we're building into these smart plans reminders to you when you need to be reminded about a certain task, so that you don't have to necessarily like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this. For example, we're going to put together a smart plan that will remind you each month, don't forget to send out the maintenance reminder to your homeowners. And then there's a link with Braden with his beautiful smiley face saying, if you forgot how to do it, this is how you do it. Stuff like that. Does that make sense? But what this all comes down to, and this is what these last two classes are all about, is what you need to do in a consistent, regular basis in order to build and grow your business. One of the most difficult things when it comes to business development is, one, is we are very resistant to change. And two, if anything, with that idea of change kind of presents itself as any sort of struggle, any little blip in the ability to do it, we tend to give up pretty quickly. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Yeah, especially when it comes to technology. I will say that the agents, in all the years that I've been coaching and working with agents, trying to do this kind of work myself, the ones that are the most successful are the ones that embrace some sort of change on a regular basis. They try to up their game a little bit all the time, and they're not afraid to do that. But obviously, if they don't have the right coaching or the right, guidance of what they should be doing, we can spin our wheels quite a bit. Anybody ever done that before with a good idea and put some money into something or some time into something, and even with all your earnest effort to do it, and you did it the way you were asked to do it, it still didn't really pan out. So what we're hoping is that we can provide you the foundation of the best practices so that you can build and grow your business. So what I want to go over with you is what those emails I sent out to you. Hopefully you're not annoyed by all the emails I sent, but I will tell you that this power hour is probably the biggest difference between you taking this platform, taking this coaching, and doing something extraordinary with it in terms of building your business than anything else that you can do. Basically, it's 1 hour a day, and that's why we did it this way. If I just give you a whole bunch of ideas and hope that you'll do them, oh, that's where the TV's just turned off. Hold on just a second. Let me put this back up here. We didn't lose anybody, no. Now we're going to watch TV. Yeah, it's weird. It just like went off for like some reason. There we go. Okay. So as I was saying, the 1 hour power hour is pretty much that big caveat or difference between you succeeding with all this and not, to me, in my opinion. Okay. The reason for that is your ability to transact. You've already proven to do it. Even if you're a newer agent compared to a veteran agent, you know that if you can get a deal in the pipeline and you can spend time with that person, you're going to close the deal. I think everyone would agree that they can do that to some degree. You want to increase that ability. You want more of those deals. So what we're trying to help you with is, one, to have a higher conversion rate because you have more to offer. When it comes to our customers, it's not about how charismatic you are or even how tenacious you are and how much you hustle, even though that's really important. A lot of it also has to do with how you resonate with what they want and that they believe that you can provide it to them, and then you deliver on it. And we truly believe in the Captivate program that we have provided to you the type of tools and the things that you can deliver, like 3D technology, like a grand open house, like the landing pages and the advertising that you put onto social media beyond just putting stuff on the MLS. You have a lot more to offer more the clients out there than other agents are offering right now. And I'm telling you, this is the biggest gap that we've seen ever since 3 years ago when interest rates were hardly anything. And, I would say from 2008, when everything crashed, right? And then a lot of agents kind of went out of the business, and then interest rates started to go down. REO, all these, homes became available. As soon as lending kind of came in and started giving people the opportunity to buy, buying just went like crazy. And we have never been able to catch up since then with inventory because the demand has been so high. It hasn't been until just recently in the last year, 2.5 years, where interest rates skyrocketed in response to the very low interest rates that we've had a lull in purchases. And many agents are struggling right now that haven't struggled in a long time, is what I'm saying. How many of you have been in the industry for 10 years or so, or at least the last 10 years, and felt like, man, life's been great. I've been able to actually work just within my SOI. I haven't had to do a lot of crazy hustling, just the basic stuff. And I've been able to make a good income, good 6-figure income. Now, all of a sudden, if you're making 50,000 in GCI, the last year, you're like, whew, at least I made that, because things just dropped so much. But I will say that the opportunity that's been provided to us is that most agents during those years of bounty really became so transactional, because that's how we got paid, that we forgot that our customer, who now with housing prices have skyrocketed, with everything else that happened, are starting to question what does an agent actually do for $30,000? They're like, that's a lot of money to get paid in order to put a sign in the yard and a home on the MLS, and literally you just wait till the offers come in. Agents really didn't have to do anything. Staging, why would I spend money staging? I mean, I've literally had veteran agents tell me, why would I spend money on drone footage and Matterport and staging and trying to convince the client even to clean their house when the house is just going to fly off the market? What's the use to do all that, right? And we did that for so long that now, and I believe that's a big part of why the NAR is getting sued. And we've had, this lawsuit that we're really getting hit hard with on the buyer side, at least, is that people are just, more than anything else, frustrated that they're paying agents such a large amount of money for something that they really didn't see a lot of value from. So, and again, I'm not suggesting that you haven't provided that. With the people that you've worked with, many of them have been able to see from you this going well beyond the status quo, well beyond what was expected, to help them get through struggling situations. Lenders, we got, Matt Barrett here, who've helped people get loans when they didn't think they could get a loan, or, help them get into that home that, otherwise they didn't think they would be able to. And now 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, their home's worth twice as much as it was worth when they bought it. So there's lots of great things that are going on. So I hope that what you have gotten through this isn't just, oh, I got a place to put my people, and I've got maybe AI to engage them a little bit and a few things I can do that make it easy. I don't want that to be what Captivate CRM is all about. What I want this to be for you more than anything else is, now I have a new directive. I have an opportunity to offer more, to close more deals, to do more in this business that doesn't just get me more money, but actually puts me in a position to be so much more competitive, and a very distinguished offering in the marketplace that many agents can't compete with. I love it when Braden goes out and does a listing presentation, and even though they've interviewed 4 other people, because it's a lead that came in from, one of our paid lead sources, or maybe 5 other people, plus the friend that they had to help them buy the house in the first place, he gets the listing. Because when he shows them what he can do with today's technology and with the systems and processes that we put into place to really provide more value to the offering, he kills it, right? And you can too, okay? So this power hour is the key to this whole thing. Everything else hopefully will fall into place. And there's been a lot of repetition, I know, and even all those emails I sent out to you may have seemed very repetitive, because I guess when it comes to teaching and coaching, there's nothing better than repetition, because sometimes I need something told to me 4 or 5 times. My wife can attest to that, before it actually sinks in, right? So here's what I want you to remember. So I'm just going to go through this, and I'm going to do it more quickly than I did last week. So don't worry, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this repetition. But your Monday Power Hour, and this is the email I sent to you. Actually, I'll pull this up and share my screen at this point so you can just see what I'm going through. Hold on just a second. Let me share it. So on the Monday Power Hour, please remember, this is 1 hour. I do not want you to spend more than 1 hour, unless you kind of have an inclination to do it, or you just don't have something else to do in any one of these areas. But please, the consistency of doing this every day, each morning, is so much more important than getting a whole bunch of stuff done. I don't want you to actually even look at this as, I have this task list of things I have to get done, get overwhelmed by it, and then give up on it. I want you to do as much as you can in 1 hour, and then stop, and then go about doing all those things that you've always done that have been successful for you in your business. Or hopefully you get so busy, you just have that rest of the day where you're showing homes and getting homes ready and staging homes and cleaning them, or whatever else that you've always been doing to bring that value to those customers that you're delivering your services to. But this 1 hour is about bringing in more leads and taking people to the next stage in the life cycle. That's basically what it's about. So here's the goals for Monday. You're going to build your social media presence. Why do you need to build a social media presence? Today, if you don't have a presence, an online presence, it's hard to compete with agents that do, and they're going to basically be more top of mind. And unfortunately, at least in the beginning stage of considering who to choose as an agent, many people select an agent that's always around. That's why top of mind marketing has been successful. Being able to be visible to people, that's why agents do client appreciation events. That's why they send newsletters. That's why they knock doors. That's why they make phone calls. And that's why coaches tell them to do that. Because that kind of consistent reminder to the people that we're trying to get business from, even though they only buy and sell every 6 to 7 years, or 3 to 5 years, or whatever that is, they need that reminder that, oh yeah, you're the person I need to think about when it's time to buy or sell my property, or refer you to somebody else. So building your social media presence is using today's technology to get yourself out there when it's hard to knock every single door, and have a client appreciation event all the time, and there's just not enough crumble cookies in the world to show all of your people that you're there all the time. But there's nothing wrong with that, but social media is the way to do it. So your goal is to build your social media presence. stay top of mind with your sphere of influence, and generate buyer leads. That's the goal of your Monday morning routine. It's 1 hour again. Please don't get overwhelmed. Level 1, this means this is how you start. If you can do this, we created 5 key landing pages that we know that our buyers respond to. Now, will they respond to them right off the bat? Probably not. That's the thing about top of mind marketing and advertising. You see it on TV. If you know, like, if you think that Geico and Progressive and those are 2 that I think about a lot when I watch TV and others like that. You see commercials over and over again, sometimes the same commercial 100 times before it finally sinks in. The Geico one about the 15 minutes to save 15%, it sticks on our heads. Why does it stick on our head? Because the one commercial made it that, powerful? No, it's because I saw it a freaking 1,000 times in the last several months, right? So please know that social media, it works that way, but it's even more brilliant than TV and a lot cheaper. It has an algorithm that says if I am interested in real estate and there's someone out there posting real estate information that I'm connected to in some way, I'm going to start seeing more of their stuff. So that makes it relevant to them, because those social media platforms don't want to lose their people, right? So don't worry about, oh, am I posting too much stuff or is it too repetitive? I would say the one thing to worry about is to make it about the wrong message. The wrong message is they're not shopping for you. They're shopping for real estate. They want to know where they should live and what deals they can get and how they can save money and how they can make money when they sell a home. That's what's on their mind. So we did the research and we found what those messages really need to be about. And basically that's what Captivate Agent's providing to you, so that when you do your social media, if you put out every single Friday, I'm telling you this, if every Friday on your social media, it says open house weekend, check out all the open houses, go out and have fun. If you want to narrow your search and get reminded when an open house comes up in the area that you're looking, just save your search and we'll send it to you automatically. People respond to that, not as a sales message, but as a service message. That's cool. Now, maybe right now I'm not out there thinking about what neighborhood I want to live in because I'm finding my house. They see that post every so often. Then all of a sudden they start to get active online that have to do with looking at properties, and your post just keeps showing up. And they're like, yeah, that's a good idea, honey. Let's go this Saturday and drive that neighborhood that we want to live in for whatever reason that is, and right here that, so-and-so has provided to us all these months that we've seen it, especially more recently now that I'm more engaged with it. Here's open house weekend. Does that make sense? So I want you to basically take those 5, we created the funnel for you, because if you don't do the funnel right, if you just randomly put out random social media posts and they're mostly about you talking about some random thing, mostly about you as an agent, those aren't something for people to really respond to because it's not about them. Okay. So on your social media, every Friday, I want you to put out, here's the open house weekend. And then you decide what order, or if you want to randomize it on the others, but maybe every Monday, these are all the reduced price listings. Hey, you looking for a deal out there on real estate? Here's all of the homes in this whole area that have offered a price reduction, or that have put a price reduction on their home. If they've reduced the price, they're anxious to sell, you could get a good deal. How many Utah people do we have that are bargain shoppers? Exactly. They all are. I mean, it's crazy. I feel like in Utah, of all the places I've lived, and I've lived in 5 different states, this is the most DIY bargain shopping state I have ever met, right?
It's been known to actually be #1 in the country.
Is it for that? Yeah. Yeah. And I've also lived, for those that are from Colorado that are on this call, I've also lived there, and that's not too far behind, when it comes to that. And that's a great thing. So could you imagine every single Monday, I guess maybe it is, and you decide which day it is, you've got a post that goes out that says bargain shoppers looking for good deals on real estate. Here you go. Here's all of the price reduced list. They go to your landing page and they're seeing not only the number that are in the area, but they see the map and all that. That's a cool landing page. And all you have to do is throw out that message with a good hook and call to action. Again, when you do this and you're like, wait a second, how do I do that hook and call to action? where do I get that image that Braden creates with ChatGPT? Well, Braden, of course, is creating a video to show you how to do that. And he's still working on some of these. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, it's coming. We got a lot of work to do to get all this done. You're our focus group trying to figure out how we can put all this together. So you'll get that little, oh, I'm supposed to do my Monday morning routine. And we'll probably create a smart plan that you can subscribe to and then unsubscribe when you're done getting reminded of things. You're like, oh yeah, I know now. Every Monday, my social media posts. But I'm going to start by doing those 5 landing pages. You have price reduced listings. You have luxury homes. That's a great one. You have all the new builders that are providing concessions and all the other homes providing concessions, right? And so you have those 5 landing pages that are going to help you remind people not that you're a really good person and really likable, which you are, I hope, by default, because you should be. That's like a status quo thing, but that you're really smart when it comes to helping people understand what they want and how to get it. And when it comes to real estate, bargain shopping, open house availability, luxury homes all in one place, that's really good service in real estate. Does that make sense? So that's level 1. If you only get on Monday, let's say you're trying to do all your posts for the week, and the first week you get 2 of your posts out, or 2 posts scheduled, I should say, and the hour's over. Guess what I want you to do? Stop. Unless you really feel like I don't have anything else to do. You know, if that's the case, which I don't think is always I think with most people, there's stuff you have to do. If you have something else to do it. Stop after that. Guess what's going to happen the next week you do it? You're going to be faster at it. You're going to be better. You'll do 4 at that time or 3. And by the time, a couple of weeks or a few weeks go by, you've got 5 of them done like what Braden's doing. He gets all 5 of the posts Monday morning for those landing pages done in like 15, 20 minutes. He even uses ChatGPT to create the unique image and puts them out there, right? Okay, that's level 1. If that's all you do in an hour, great, do it. Now, level 1 also says, okay, now you got a little bit more time. So the next step is log into Facebook. And then, because how many of you have thousands and thousands of followers on your Facebook business page? Anybody here? Anybody online? I don't think so. We don't either, right? So what's the best thing to do, especially if you don't? I've got several thousand on my personal Facebook, right? So what I can do is I can log in as me in Facebook. Basically, just go to the link at the top. Here, I'll bring it up just so that everybody remembers this. So if I go into, oops, can't go do it there. If I go into Facebook, I see my image up here. And if I want to log in as Captivate agent, no, it's not Captivate, it's Turenda Real Estate. Sorry, it's your business page, real estate business page. If I come here and then I see, my business page here, I can take any of these, I can like it. That's what I want you to do. So you see the post went out and I haven't even had this chance. Here's the concessions offered. So this was an AI generated image, right? And again, Braden's going to show you how to do it. It's so easy as you just say what you want and it does it for you in seconds, right? And then, are you on the hunt for an incredible home deal that includes covered closing costs? Look no further. We've got amazing options for you. You can use ChatGPT or write it yourself, but ChatGPT does a great job of it. Even our CRM has that capability. Again, Braden will show you, and you decide what you'd rather do. I want you to come in here and like it, but see, I'm liking it right now as Turenda. Do you see that? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change this to Mike Anderson. This is me now, which I have a much bigger following. So I've got 2.7 thousand friends. And then I'm going to do a search here for Turenda. It already comes up because I've gone there so much. Now I'm on the Turenda site, but I'm acting as Mike Anderson. Notice that I can like it now, but it says comment as Mike Anderson. Do you see that? And then I'm going to hit like. So now I've liked it as me. And then I'm going to share this. And if I share this, where's it going to go? On not on just my page, but it's going to go to my people, right? That's what social media is all about. So I can write this, I'll do it really quick. Check out all the homes in the Wasatch Front offering concession or buyer concessions. that can help you get a better deal, pay closing costs, or even pay down your interest rate, right? Something like that. Super easy to write something like this. I don't have to write something here because it's already going to have what the post itself had. But if I hit share now, guess where that's going? On my page. My people are going to more likely see it. So that's what I want you to do to kind of get it out there if your business page doesn't have a lot. That makes sense? How fast and easy was it to do that? Just took a second to do it. Okay. And, or a minute, I should say. I want you to do that as part of your level 1 is log into Facebook and Instagram as yourself, not your business page, like and share your posts for more reach. Now, if you're scheduling on Monday posts that haven't come out yet, don't worry about that. Go to the posts that were from last week and like and share those. That's totally fine. Does that make sense? So don't worry that you're, oh, wait a second, how do I do this Monday morning? Because the posts I just scheduled aren't out yet. Do last week's posts. Got it? So just to be clear. Now, if you really want that to have an impact, remember Facebook and Instagram are for-profit companies. Spend $25 and boost it. If you're big on Instagram, by the way, I went to Facebook because I'm an old guy and I'm more a Facebook person. That's just what Facebook is about. If you're younger and Instagram is more your thing, do this on Instagram, by the way, right? So you can log into your Instagram because it's there too. Like it as yourself if you've got your business page on Instagram, and then you can boost. The only way to get the link that's clickable in Instagram, by the way, is by boosting. So just pick one of them. Decide which one you want to do a different one each week. I don't care. We haven't found that there's one formula, like picking the same one every week or paying 50 instead of 25 or something like that. All we're trying to do with this is try to get a little bit more reach, a little bit more eyes on it. When you boost it, you're going to get eyes that are already interested in real estate. That's what boosting is about. That's what makes this platform so smart. What it's basically saying to the system is, I'm an advertiser. I want people to see this. And what the platform is saying is, we know what people are looking for homes, which people are looking for homes right now, and we'll show it to them, because not only will that help you and you'll pay us more money, but they won't leave our platform because they're getting nonsense posts that they're looking at. Does that make sense? So that's a really good thing. That's very powerful. I'm only going to show this to people that are thinking about buying a home in the Wasatch Front area, because otherwise they would think this is a stupid thing to see. And if they see too many stupid things on their social media posts, what are they going to, well, they're not going to look at it anymore. Does that make sense? So that's why you do it. So level 1 is, that's $100 a month. Now, if it doesn't give you enough ROI, if you don't feel comfortable, anything like that, but I will tell you, if you don't invest in your business and you don't invest in, advertising and marketing, you're not going to have more business. There's this kind of unfortunate idea that in real estate is we can spend $500 and 120 hours and get rich. I mean, yeah, but it's going to take a whole lot of work, and you'll find that at least for me, every top agent that I've ever worked with that's made high 6 figures salaries, and even up into the 7 figures, every single, without exception, every one bought leads and paid for them and did advertising. Not one of them said, oh yeah, I just have a great SOI database. None of them. Even those that have been doing the business for 20 years and have a really great database and probably make a good 6-figure salary without doing a thing. And many of you might be in that situation. I don't have to, but I'm only making 150 grand a year, and I'm pretty much capped out at that. There's only so much you're going to be able to get from your SOI, even over a period of time. All of the biggest players out there pay for leads. Now, again, I'm not saying you need to do that. Maybe you don't want to make high 6 figures. You want to have more time to do other things, or whatever your reasoning is. I don't want to say that you have to do that, but I'm just saying paying for advertising is a part of doing business in any industry. It's a part of ours too. Okay, steps, level 2 steps. If within an hour you're able to do all these things and you get it all done in an hour, I throw out my 5 posts and it takes me 15 minutes. I go in and I like the ones from last week, takes me 2 minutes. I go in and boost one of the posts because I can do it right there in Captivate CRM. It literally takes 2 minutes, right? Remember how to do that? I'll go back and show you. So within the CRM, again, we'll have Braden's, and you can watch this one too, videos to show you how to do that. But all I have to do is I go to my, whoops, wrong place. Sorry. My social studio, find a post and just hit boost now or boost post. As soon as I hit boost post, I decide how much I want to spend. I can say I only want to spend $25. Sorry. There we go. $25. Got 300 and come on, little thing. $23, I guess. Sorry, my computer's giving me weird things. And then I want to put it on Facebook and Instagram. So I have that set there. I'm going to let that go for just 1 week because I've only put $25 and it's just a week post, right? So I'm going to do it let's see. So we'll start it. It's going to be posted on Tuesday. So I'm going to go from Tuesday to Tuesday, for example. Okay. And then I'm going to do it to the area that I'm selected through targeting. What area do I want? You can select, I would select at least more of the area that you want to work in. Like, don't select the whole Wasatch Front. You could do it if you want. Don't select the whole state of Utah. So for me, I'm going to go Utah County. And it lets me do that, not too narrow, not too broad, right? You choose where that area is. If you're in Colorado Springs and you want to travel to Denver a lot because these are leads you're paying for, I guess put it in. But if I were you, if you live in Colorado Springs, I'd stick to Colorado Springs, right? And then I hit save. Okay. Once you do that and you boost that post, make sure you have your credit card and stuff information. Some people were being asked, by the way, to update their address. It somehow pulled our address and gave it to all of you. So it needed you to update your address for your billing. So, you have to do that. But again, and oh, by the way, I forgot button link. I forgot this. That's really important. What link are you going to put here? This link right here. So you have your search.homes, right? For us, yours might be your vanity URL or something else. Then it has a slash, and then it's the landing page. In this case, it's the open house weekend landing page, right? And it'll even pull it up for you so you can see it. So make sure you have your button. That's super important for Facebook and Instagram, but especially Instagram. And then the area you selected, I put Utah County. It automatically, because of redlining, compliance, it's 15 miles. I selected the date range, and then I've got both of my, Facebook and Instagram there. Your payment method in place, hit boost post. Any questions about that? Okay, super easy to do that. So let's say you're able to get that done and you're only a half an hour in. You got a half an hour to do something else with. So you're going to do everything at level 2 is you do everything in level 1. And then what I want you to do, I showed you this last week, so I'm not going to go through that in really a lot of detail because we'll have video for it, but you're going to create your farm landing page. Just create one, right? You can do that in about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So you might only have time to do the one, but your farm may be like, let's say my farm is Eagle Mountain, let's say. So, because that's where I live. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to put all the homes for sale in Eagle Mountain and create a page out of it. Remember how I showed you that last week? Super easy to do. Then the following week, I've got some time. So I'm going to do all of the condos in Eagle Mountain for sale. And then the following week, I'm going to do a landing page that's all the townhomes and then all the luxury homes, all the horse properties, et cetera, et cetera. How many of those can you create? Like 100, easy, right? Dozens and dozens of those, right? So basically, you've got some stuff that you can do for weeks, months, years, even just even in that. Now, maybe instead of boosting one of these other pages, I'm going to boost one of the farm pages. I really want to focus on the farm, so I'm going to boost that. So instead of boosting the one of those other ones up here in level 1, boost the farm page. Okay, again, getting stuff out there on a regular basis on social media is what's going to bring that top of mind marketing that you want very badly. I have agents all the time saying, what should I post? How often should I post? Should I hire someone to post? We've created everything for you. And then if you only post things and you don't boost it, you don't share it onto your page, no one's going to see it. So just follow these steps, really easy. Now, if you can do everything in level 1 and level 2, I want you to create a video to go with your post. Now, I'm not going to talk about this too much because the likelihood of you getting to level 3 in 1 hour is very small. So I've added this to Friday You know what I'm going to talk about today. But what I do want you to do is, if it takes only a second when you think about these other posts, is we're creating all these images, maybe AI images. If you have your phone, and you'll get really good at this, hopefully you have it set up in your office with some decent lighting, and we have video that talks about all that, right? Is that you can do a quick video and say, hey folks, this weekend and every weekend, you can find all the open houses. You can go and do your open house shopping, check things out. You don't have to have an agent that you sign, and say that. I mean, be honest with those people. Think about it from their perspective. You don't have to sign a contract with an agent to go to an open house. So have fun, go to open houses, explore this idea of getting ready to move. When you get serious, call me up and I'll help you, right? You could, how easy could you do a video like that, right? And that's honest and earnest way of making it about them and not about you. Make that video be what's there instead of that image for that one. And then you can reuse that video multiple times when you post open house one. Then maybe the following week, because you've got a little time to do it, do another quick video and say, hey, would you like to bargain shop when you're looking for a house? Did you know that I've provided a page that you can go to? These are all the homes that have discounted recently reduced their prices. If they've reduced their prices, guess what that means? They're anxious to sell, and they're usually willing, because everybody puts in room to negotiate. I can even get you a better deal. So go bargain shopping, find the house that you like, and then call me up and I'll even get you a better deal on those homes. Wouldn't that video seem a little bit more powerful than trying to put together an image? Why not do a quick little video about these things that you're putting out there? Again, when you do those videos, and we'll even provide scripts and examples as we go through this, try to think about it from their perspective, not yours. The biggest problem we have when we do advertising, and especially when it comes to videos, is we tend to talk too much about us and not enough about them. Don't even start the videos like, hi, my name is Mike Anderson. I've been a real estate agent for 30 years, and I really love real estate. And we talk for like 2 minutes about me. And everybody's like, I don't care, unless it's your mom or something, right? So don't start with that. Starting right from the beginning, what they care about. You want a bargain shop for homes? I have a place where you can go and see all of the reduced price listings in one place. Here it is, right? Start exactly with what they want. Even when you have phone conversations, you'll find people are much more responsive when you talk about them and not about yourself. Just think about it like when you used to date. Do you remember that? How many of you like to meet someone and all they did is talk about themselves because they thought that's what impressed you? And what did you think about them? Yeah, you hate them, right? But when someone's unimposing and they make it about you and they're always talking about you, those are the if you think about likability is more about people that aren't so much into themselves, right? They're more into you, right? So, yeah.
What if I am really cool and they should be talking about me?
Because you can be cool by what you do for them, not because you're trying to convince them that you're cool, right? Right. Exactly. The minute you have to tell someone that you're cool, yeah. The minute you have to tell someone that you're cool is the minute they realize you're not. So that's a bumper sticker that you I know. Okay. And so that's what this level 3 is about. It's like, instead of doing your AI generated image and doing that every single week and stuff like that, if you create a quick video and just literally make it 30 seconds, even just say, hey, if you want to see all of the open houses this weekend and go open house shopping, by the way, you don't need to have any contract with any agent to do that. You can walk into any of these open houses. Here they all are in one place. And then you know, in your video, because I'll show you how to do that as well. In our courses, we have a course that's the community go-to agent. And I show you how to edit video using Camtasia, but there's other editors out there. I always like, and I'll show you this today later. I always like putting images of what I'm talking about. So it's not just me as a talking head. Okay. But you can do those videos once you get into the habit of it in seconds. The agents that are really good at doing videos, like they call them reels, especially, and they do them on a regular basis, are the ones that are the visible ones out there. And they get a lot of business from it because people think of them when it's time for them to make a decision. Any questions about what you do on Monday? I know I went through this last week too, and I'm super repetitive on this because I went through it the week before, because I don't want this is the thing that happens. You don't do it. How many of you have actually done this every Monday since I talked about it? Good. Most of you probably have not. But I need you to just put it out there. And don't even worry am I getting a lot of deals from it? It will happen, I promise you. The agents that I've worked with that are just consistently doing it. I have a couple, or no, sorry, it's a mom and a son. If I called them a couple, out there in Vineyard and Springville that are doing it. They've been doing it now for like 6 years since I first started talking about it. Almost all, they're like one of the top producing agents in Berkshire Hathaway over here. And they get like 9 new leads a week organically from all the social media posts they put out there. But they put out posts consistently about homes for sale in their farm area. Okay. So believe me, it works. Now, the next one is Tuesday through Thursday. This is 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that you're going to go through these activities. We went through this last week, so I'm going to try to go through this really quickly, but I don't want you to forget. Again, 1 hour is all you need. If you want to spend more time, do it, but you better not spend 3 hours one day and then the next day you're like, I'm done. I would rather you do it 1 hour a day than 3 hours one day and don't do it for a week. Make sense? 1 hour a day. It's a habit. How many of you have morning routines? Like I have my workout routine. If I worked out 3 hours one day, I probably wouldn't work out for 3 or 4 days, right? But I have a 1 hour routine each morning, and I can do it each morning. That makes so much of a difference compared to trying to do everything all at once. So here are your goals. You're going to help your people, right? We call them people because that's what they are in your database. Why do we call them people instead of contacts or leads? So do you know why? To remind you that they're people, because we forget sometimes. We're just trying to do business. These are my contacts. These are my leads. These are my opportunities. When you meet with, coaches that talk about, sales techniques and things like that, they never refer to the people in your database as actual people. So that's one thing I really liked about Lofty when we were looking at different ones, is that they didn't call them contacts. They didn't call them, even though you have leads and things like that, they'll put in there, but they refer to them as people because that's who they are. So I want you to remember them as people, and that's what's going to make this effective. So you help your people move to the next stage in the homeowner life cycle. That's your goal. You're going to never miss an opportunity now because of this effort that you're going to do 1 hour a day, and you're going to create new opportunities because of it. Those are the goals, right? So level 1, you're going to filter your people by their lead score. So again, when you're in here and you go to people, you can go to lead score and you can see this. This is basically the people that are most engaged. Now, one thing as I was going through this, I realized too, wait a second, what about last touch? There might be someone that's in your database that doesn't have a really high lead score because they haven't, done a lot of engagement over some period of time, but all of a sudden they're now engaged. Do you want to miss those? No, you want to capitalize on that. So I want you to do both by lead score and lead touch, right? So you can, or last touch. So you can also see, like, here's Timothy Thornhill. I don't even know who this guy is because he came into my database through one of our paid lead sources. But somehow 42 minutes ago, he engaged with me. This one 43 minutes ago. This one an hour ago. This one 2 hours ago. Please don't forget these people as far as the last touch, even though they don't have the 80, 90 lead score, because the other ones that I've been engaged with in other things, but these are people that are just now getting interested. I sent out an email and they responded to a text. It looks like there's communications that are going on and they're responding to it. Does that make sense? So once I click on this, I know you're going to have to blur all this out. Sorry, guys. So I go in this and I start to look and like, what do I know about it? Like, I don't even know who this guy is. Where did he come from? All the information is right here. So he came from UpNest, right? So he's from one of our paid lead sources. I've got his phone number and I got his email and I've never called him. So what the heck should I be doing? I should call him. But do I call him right now because I'm so anxious? No, because if I call him right this second, what am I going to say? Hey, Tim, this is Mike Anderson, and how are you? I'm an agent, and I'm going to talk about myself for the next 2 minutes so that you think I'm cool, right? No, what are you going to do? You're going to find out what the heck he's engaged with. What has he been doing? So he comes in, he has a home value update. He actually went in there and looked at his home value, and then it got delivered to him. And I'm going to go through this really quick. Oh, I created a CMA for this guy. I didn't even know I created a CMA. Like, does that ever happen to you that you do things and you forget? Did I actually do this myself or did my system do it? System, no, I created. Yeah, I did it. Right. So, hi, Timothy. This is Mike. Sorry that we haven't been able to connect. Obviously, this is my AI. I can rate it if I want to. And then I actually tracked my AirPods back to the address after leaving the airport and was hoping the realtor could give me contact information. Now I know what this is all about. Like, oh, I didn't even know what this is all about. But the thing is he got this reminder about the water heater and dryer vents. He opens it up. It's been delivered. Anyway, I want you to read through all these different things. And the lead is asking for a call. AI assistant will continue to monitor the lead's behavior. But now you get an idea of what's going on. Does that make sense? Then I go over, so activities are what's going to let you know what's going on. What I want you to do when you do this is figure out, maybe it's not worth contacting this person, right? I don't know what's going on with this lead. You don't either, or this person. Somehow they got engaged. You want to figure out what that is. So you're going to go and look at activities. I want you then also to determine this lead right here. It says that he's a seller. Is he a seller? Is he a buyer? Whatever you may know. They could be a seller and a buyer. Usually if someone comes in as a seller, I almost always click buyer. You know why I do that? Because almost every seller is a buyer. I mean, if you think about it, they're either going to sell the house as an investor in 1031 it, right? Right? 1031 or 1039? 1031. I got it right. Okay. I kind of lost my head for a second. So I usually put that in there because I know that when I designate this person accurately in the system knows how to deal with it. My AI knows what they're interested in, and it gives me more opportunities to interest them. I don't care if I don't know if they're a buyer or seller yet or not, but usually I put that in there. If you know other things like they're a homeowner, they're a landlord, they're an investor, renter, we have all those in there. So I'm going to save that. Okay. Now, yeah.
Real quick, there's a question online for Melissa.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Alyssa.
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
My question is, when I put on my listing, I am getting leads based off of that listing, like interest in that listing. What would be, some of them I set up a smart plan, but should I call them and ask if they have questions about the listing?
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that. Basically, the goal is to call everyone, but before you call them, you're going to want to do as much research as you can. Find out as much information that they provided within the lead that they brought you. If you want, you can try to look them up. Remember, there are places in here where you can try to find them on social media. I'll show you that in just a second if you want. So you want to get as much information and gather that up before you call them, because that's going to help you have a better conversation to make it more about them. Okay. So basically what I want you to do in step one with those people that are at the top of either your lead score list or your recently, touched list, is that you're going to look and see what information you have, go through the activities, make sure that the designation. So one designation I want you to look at is the lead type. Okay. So remember lead type. Now these are going to be updated. They're not fully updated yet, but I want you to make sure the pipeline. So in this case, it came in as a new lead. As soon as you've had a conversation or you've gone through any of the steps, we're going to be updating this because we don't like all of the things in here in the pipeline. We're going to make it a little bit cleaner, but I want you to make sure with the list that's here, and you'll get, used to what that is, that they're in the right pipeline stage. Okay. The right step within the pipeline, because that also helps the system know how to interact with this person and not give them annoying, frivolous information that's not relevant because they're in the wrong pipeline stage. And then the segment, make sure they're part of the segment right here. If maybe that like right here, it's AI contacted and need to contact from AI because it's a lead that came in and they don't know what, the system doesn't know what to do with it. As soon as you know what to do with it, you can say, what this may be. Now, we can also put in here, like if he's a first-time buyer, I could put that in if I find out. Maybe right now I don't know, but just check and make sure that the information is correct, whatever that lead is. Okay. Those are the things I want you to check. So again, lead type, pipeline, and segment. There's also tags that can be in there. We haven't gotten to that too much, but that's unique stuff. Like let's say you have someone that needs to build their credit. So there's a tag in there that creates, that initiates a smart plan about how to build credit, stuff like that. Okay. Those tags are under these details here and right here. So you have tags right here and you can select multiple tags. We'll have this all cleaned up for you as well. but there's going to be tags like buyer not ready because of timing, or buyer not ready, it's too expensive, or buyer not sure, agent competition. Christmas card list is even in here. We'll clean this up, but these are all going to be tied to smart plans, and you can even create your own smart plans that can go along with this. Once they're part of a tag, then they're going to get whatever the smart plan provides them, whether it's emails, texts, reminders to you, whatever that may be. Like your Christmas card list maybe, and they can be, part of multiple tags, just means that every, late October, early November, you're going to get a reminder that you need to send them a Christmas card, or we're even building into the system things that can automate that messaging that goes out to say Merry Christmas or whatever you want it to say. Make sense? So you want to make sure that your lead type, your pipeline, your segment, and your tags are appropriate for that lead. And how many times is it not accurate? Even with your SOI. I swear every single time I bring someone up, even people that I'm like in the middle of a transaction with, like, oh, they're in the wrong segment. They're in the wrong, or I didn't add them to this or that. Okay. So I want you to update that. Remember, you're going to do this for an hour. You're doing it with the lowest hanging fruit. So you don't have to do it with everybody in your database, and you only spend 1 hour. Make sense? Okay. So what's next? Then I go to engagement. Once I've selected the right kind of lead, I'm going to have all these engagement opportunities. I can send out property alerts, market snapshots, market reports, home report, and seller report. You can do this before and or after you call the person, if you're going to call them. Okay. What I mean by this, I put him as a buyer, but it doesn't have a property alert. Is it possible to be a buyer without a property alert? It is, but should it be? No. Every single potential buyer, even if it's the 6 months, maybe I'll buy. Maybe I'll buy when I find the right place, whatever it is. You should be giving them a property alert. Do your best guess. You can update it. You can add multiple property alerts, but you're going to create a property alert for them. What do people do with property alerts? They open them up. So if you're not sending property alerts to a potential buyer, you are missing out on the number one reason a buyer responds to an agent. Number one reason is why? Because they want to look at a house. And if you're not sending them homes, they're looking somewhere else. So send them homes. Market snapshot. So whatever area they're in or wanting to buy, make sure they get the market snapshot or market report. I send him the market report for Eagle Mountain. It looks like I already set this up. Here's the house that he came in with. East Fiscus Way at Eagle Mountain that he's looking at. So I should be sending him property alerts probably for Eagle Mountain. I need to do that. So I would do that here. Now, the fact that he's got a report, he's opened it twice, which is a good thing, right? Now, that means when I call him up, because I'm gathering information, I'm going to call him up and say, hey, I've noticed that you opened this up. What do you think of that price? Why is that a good conversation to have? Because I'm the expert, hopefully, right? So what do I tell them? Hey, this is just a preliminary estimate based on some, a generic report from public information. I can provide you with a CMA to give you a little bit better of a estimate compared to sold properties in your area, et cetera. Take a look at that, click on it, tell me what you think. Then I need to come to your house, take some pictures, do a true home value report. And then we can find out what your house is really worth. Once you start talking about money and value to people, they respond to it. So I'm going to call them. Does that make sense? I know now what to call them about if I'm going to call them. Smart plans. If there's no smart plans, is there a smart plan that he should be a part of? Now, some of these smart plans should automatically be in there because of what pipeline they're in or what segment or what tag they're with. But I can also add them here. We'll have this cleaned up. You have your My Plans, and you can, like, here's the $20,000 listing presentation and stuff like that. These are things that will help you and help them with information that needs to be in there. If they're under transaction, like we've already started the transaction, and oh wow, it's not even here, I have no documents. Go ahead and click on this. For this one, transaction type, it's a purchase, et cetera, if it is, or a sell, and make sure you get that added as well. Okay, that's all you're going to do for an hour. Now, maybe I just to reemphasize this shouldn't be all you do. When you get the information you need, there should always be a next step. Never leave it without a next step. You have appointments and tasks over here. You've seen this over here, all your appointments and tasks that you can put in there. So now I'm going to call Timothy. And I'm going to say, hey, Tim, this is Mike Anderson. I noticed you did this and this. I even tell people that. I noticed that you've been looking at this home. I noticed that you opened up that report that I sent you about, your home or this thing or that, or whatever. Right now I'm looking at the report and it says that your house has got this kind of range of value, but obviously that's just a baseline. What do you think about it? Ask questions before you do too much talking. Let them tell you what they're thinking. Take your notes on it. Make an appointment or set up a task for the next step. Your job is to get them to whatever next step you're trying to do. And it's easy to do with people that are engaged because they told you what they're doing to some degree. Does that make sense? You're going to spend 1 hour doing this. I promise if you do this every day for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 1 hour, if you're not pulling a deal or two or getting people moving to the next step out of each one of those days per day, something's wrong. You will. If you want more business, this is the way to get it. Because what you're doing is you're interacting with people that are interacting with you and your system, and you're talking about that interaction and getting a better idea from them what they're trying to accomplish. You're setting them up and you up with the next best step to take, and all of a sudden people are moving along. That's the number one thing you can do in sales. Move people to the next step in the pipeline. Any questions about that? That's what I want you to do. See how simple this is. Every Monday, I come into my database. I go to my people. I go to lead score and I go to last touch. I can go, back and forth between the two. And I'm going to spend 1 hour, and you can go through this and say, oh yeah, I already know Topher, we're already set up. But you may be surprised because with him, I did this last week. He's building a house and selling his house 2 months before we're going to put it up on the market, 2 months before his house is ready. We're going to try to time it just right. That's a lot of, you got to be careful with that, right? Because the last thing you want your client to be stuck with is 2 mortgages or no place to live. You want to time that as best as possible. So using your system and the smart plans and the reminders to make sure that happens is what you're doing, is you're keeping track of all that information. So use that hour a day to do what you're not usually doing, taking a lot of time to do. Refine your intentions and your steps and your process with each person, and start with the people that are the most active. Make sure, oh shoot, I almost forgot. If I wouldn't have gone there and gone to Topher, I wouldn't have put in my calendar reminder that we need to list his house by, May 30th, I think is what we're doing, or June 30th. I can't remember now because I can't look at it. Until that's put in there, I'm going to lose it. And how many times have you got so much stuff going on that you forget things that are important, that in the moment they were important, you're like, I'll never forget that. Have you ever done that before? Oh yeah, I don't have to write that down. I'm never going to forget that. And then all of a sudden, a week later, you completely forgot. That's what your system is there for. That's what smart plans are there for. Okay. So you've called the person. Now this is all level 1. That's super easy. If you just go through and do that and that's it, and your hour's done 3 days in a row, you're golden. And I promise you, please believe me, if you do this consistently, if you want to double, triple, quadruple your production, this is it right here. Let the system and your other things that you've been doing in your career so well take off after that. But you have to spend this hour making sure that your database, your people that you know what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how you're helping them. Okay, level 2. Complete level 1 with all the engaged clients. Now this is what I want you to do. If you want to filter by renters, okay, so this is what you do. Like, oh, I've contacted everybody. I don't have enough people in my database. By the way, if you don't have enough people in your contact list, guess what that means? You need more people, period. Does that not sound as obvious as it can be? Right? So I'm going to show you how to get more people in there. That's super important. You have to get more people in there. So one thing to do that is you can filter by segment, right? So if I want to come over here to my segments, see here, now I got to remember where I get my segments here. Filters. All right, there we go. So if I filter by my segments up here, so I'm going to go my renters. Wait, that's all my filters.
Go to your people tab.
Is it under people?
And then go to
Oh, there it is. Duh. Thank you. Sometimes I just forget these things. I don't know. I thought it was over on there. So you go to my filter. So then I'm going to go to my renters. So, and I don't think I've set this up yet for everybody here. And I've got, this is just page 1. So here we go. There we go. So I do have 63 of those leads that are renters. So I'm going to click on that. These are all my renters right here. Number of leads, renter, segment name. I could send an email to them. There we go. So actually, I'm not seeing them. I know I can see them all. I'll get we'll get the how-to video from Braden. Sorry, Braden. I'm screwing this up again. So this is where you can send everybody an email. So you can send them an mass email. You can add them to a smart plan, and then you can send them postcards is the options that they have here. You can also send letters, set reminders, etc. There's also, I thought you just clicked on these and it just showed you all those, but there's another place you do that. But what I want you to do here is that with your renters, you're going to invite them to the Pathway to Qualification program. Now, I haven't sent you the script for this or the smart plan. It'll be in there. But basically for your renters, you're just going to let them know, and it's a very quick email, and then there's a drip campaign that goes with it. Your goal is to sign them up or to get them to come in for an appointment. Do you remember all this? Super easy to do, but we've got a smart plan in there. So if you've gotten to the point in your power hour that you've exhausted on level 1, all of the people that are the lowest hanging fruit, the people that are the most engaged, like I don't have any more people to call, then what you're going to do is you're going to get all your renters and all your homeowners to come in for either an equity assessment appointment or your Pathway to Qualification appointment. We have a smart plan in place so that you can send out an email to explain what that is. And then you're going to send that to them through a smart plan. Guess what happens when you send that information to them? If they click on it, it shows up in their engagement, and it basically will show up in this area that you're going to be using under your people in terms of lead score and last touch. If they open up any of those things, then you're going to find out who they are, they're a renter. They clicked on my email that had to do with the Pathway to Qualification program. Even if they just opened it, might be a reason to call them up and explain it to them in person. Hey, John, this is Mike. I sent you that email about our Pathway to Qualification program. We help renters buy their first home by the time their lease is up, or just whenever it makes sense to them. Basically, we help them know where they're at and where they need to be. Most renters don't know exactly what they need to do, and they feel like the only agent or lender that helps them is the ones that are trying to get them into a place right now. Our program helps people get ready to do that. Would you like to come in for that appointment? I'm telling you, it works. We've had so many agents with great success with that. With the home equity assessment program, and we'll talk about this next week because that's the last session. I'll go into detail about those 2 programs, but I don't want to do that now. I'm just saying that that's how you're going to get level 2. I need more people moving along. I've got all these people in my database, but they're not engaging with me. Well, they're not engaging because they're not actively thinking about buying or selling property or anything I'm sending out to them. I don't have a property alert I can send them because they're not shopping, but they have $300,000 in equity and they don't realize that it's earning them nothing. They could be an investor, or they're renters and they're just renting because they don't think they can afford to buy, and I'm going to teach them how they can do it, right? I've had so many conversations about ADUs and house hacking and renting out rooms. I've helped just recently 2 people buy properties, never thought that they could buy, that are now in a place. One just bought a place in Orem, right off the freeway where he wanted to be. He was paying $1,200 a month renting a place. Guess how much he pays right now? $300 to own it, because he rented out the basement for $1,100 and the other 2 rooms for $650 each. And his mortgage payment's only $2,500. Or $2,400. He is excited as can be, right? And he never thought he could own. He calls me even still. It's been 2 months now since he bought the place. And Mike, thank you so much. This is so awesome. And he's telling other people about what I've done and, people that are going to want to buy and stuff. So I'm telling you, it works. Now, step 3 in this process, you've exhausted all the people in your CRM, and that means you don't have enough people. You don't even have people that you can, give a pathway to qualification offering to, or an equity assessment. This is critical. There are many ways to do this, to add more people. There is no magic button. So I hate to say this. If you're at the point now, because you haven't been in the business long enough, one thing I'd recommend, you got to buy leads. You got to invest the money. I would buy from a reputable source like Zillow, Realtor.com, or something like that. Be wary of those guys that call you with a very strong accent that tell you that you're going to make millions of dollars or whatever they say because you're going to get all these great leads. Be wary of that. Buy from the big sources. But here's the thing. When agents get fearful of that, two things I want to share with you. One, the best, most successful agents, the ones that are making the most money, they're buying from those places. Two, you now have a way to beat out those agents and the others that are buying it. Like with Upnest, then they even told us, we don't even do that much business, honestly, with them because we're doing all this stuff. We have a higher conversion rate than anybody that they have. So they love sending us leads on the listing side because as soon as we get in there on a listing appointment, we win the deal. Because with our listing presentation, the $20,000 listing presentation, the Oculus goggles, the 360 camera, the staging, and things that we share with them are so far above and beyond what every agent offers out there. Even our new CMA that we have impresses them as they can click on a property that we're comparing their property to and getting, engaged, pictures and information beyond just a printout of a PDF. So believe me, you can buy leads and convert more, and it's totally worth it. If you spend $5,000 a month and you close 4 deals because of that a month, is that worth $5,000? It certainly is. So don't be afraid. Go into it slow. I'm not saying rush in and spend a whole lot of money. If you ask, I'd love to get Tanner Litchfield in here because Braden knows him really well. He put out a post, I don't know if you saw it a while ago, a 27-year-old kid that his first year in business, he's put 40,000. He's only been an agent for what, 3 years now? 2 years? 3 years?
3 years in Utah, yeah.
3 years. He put $40,000 on his credit card, 40 grand. And he talked about how he put that much money on a credit card, right? He maxed it out. The guy makes, what did he make last year? 600,000 or 700,000?
No, that's his total GCI over the years. I think he was 250 last year.
250 last year, yeah. But it was well worth it for the money that he spent on it. So what I'm saying is don't be afraid to buy leads if you need to. If you don't want to buy leads and you're willing to do the sweat equity that it takes to do it, you're going to have to knock doors. You're going to have to call FSBO. You're going to have to call expires. You're going to have to promote other people's listings and sit in their open houses. You can boost your posts and you just talk to everyone you know. I mean, put everybody that you go to church with in your content, in your people, and start sending them property alerts, or at the very least, if they live in your neighborhood and they're homeowners, send them a home report every single month. You're going to have to do something to get people in your database. I'm just saying, you need to do that. If you, Tuesday through Thursday, you run out of people you can call. Okay. I'm not losing you, am I? We good? Okay. Really, I hope this is where everything happens. So the last thing I want to talk to you about today is what you do on your Friday Power Hour. Whoops, the wrong one. Here we go. This is what you're going to do on Fridays. Friday is your day off. You spent Tuesday through Thursday going through your database, scrubbing it, calling people. It's grueling, but it's so invigorating when you get people that are like, yeah, I've been thinking about this. I've wanted to do this, or that would be great if you could teach me how to buy my first place, or whatever it is that happens during Tuesday through Thursday. This is what I want you to do on Friday. I want you to level up on Friday. Fridays are your level up day. What does that mean? What that means is that I want you to do something new and bold to stand out. That's a goal. You're going to add influential people to your contacts. You're going to capture buyer and seller leads through this effort. This is the day to do something that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, what happens when you do the same thing over and over again? You get the same results, right? So I want you, even though these the repetition of these activities that I've shared with you so far are going to help you grow, right? But you will get to a point where you might hit a little bit of a ceiling. You need to level up in some way. Fridays is your level up day. So this is what you do. On Fridays, I want you to record a video. How many of you don't do enough video? I know everybody's that way. Everybody could do more video. So The first video I want you to do on a Friday that you haven't, if you've done it yet, hopefully I've sent it out to you. I sent you the script and everything, and we'll continue to send you scripts and examples of videos that you should do. So you don't have to wonder, what video should I do today? We'll give it to you. I want you to do your seller and buyer introduction videos that you send out to every single one of your new leads. If your new leads don't know you because they're leads coming in from a referral or from a paid lead source or something like that, I don't know who this person is. You know, kind of like what Alicia asked is Alicia? Elisa. What Elisa asked was, do I call this person? Well, yeah, but they have never heard of you. You're going to find out information. But whenever I don't know someone, I've never met them, I always send out my video. I do it through text. I send them out a video, right? There's a buyer side one and there's a listing side one to explain what I do. Okay, I want you to create that video. Remember, when you create the video, and I'll provide scripts, it's not about you. If you spend the first 1 or 2 minutes of that video, or even the first 15 to 20 seconds talking about yourself, like really talking about yourself, you've lost them, okay? You've got to talk about what they want. So on the buyer side, there's something they want. They want to buy a house. I'll explain what we say in that. And then on the listing side, okay? So I want you to create those 2 videos. So that's level 1. Now, if you've created those 2 videos, because those are the first 2 I want you to do, then I want you to think about your go-to agent, which is that, of course, we're still putting up there, but many of you have been to it. I want you to visit all the new build communities in your farm. If you've got a particular area you work in, I want you to, because right now, I don't know if you know this, but new build is killing it right now in our market. Everybody else is struggling. How many of you know that right now? With even your buyers, you're struggling because you're like, oh my heck, or the lenders especially, because they're the preferred lender. If you run into this, but if you use their lender, they're going to give you a 4.9% guaranteed, interest rate, and they're going to give you $30,000 in concessions. They're giving away the farm to sell their places. You know what's happening with new builds? They're flying off the shelf, not like they were before, but more so than other homes, that are on the market, because they're trying to get rid of inventory. So I want you to visit those new build communities in your farm, and I want you to go and talk to the sales agent. Introduce yourself as an agent. Say, look, I'm trying to help buyers buy. They want to sell. They'll be happy to work with you. All you have to do is ask them, what are you offering? What are you doing? What is this builder doing for your sellers right now? I want you to create a video. Have that sales agent in the video with you. If you need to use a selfie stick or a tripod, do that, but do your interview with them and say, what are you doing? But I actually like doing it. And if you want to do it with a selfie stick or do the 360 video, which is nice, even if you make it fixed frame, walk one of their model homes with them and say, as they're talking about, look at the quality of the property, look what we're doing. They will talk about how great the properties are and how great the incentives are, and they will do it better than you can do it as a salesperson. And you're just there. If you want to buy a nice place right now in Lehi, Utah, check out Edge Homes. Look at this model home. We're walking through it, and you're asking the sales agent, what do you offer? And they're like, we can give you a 4.9% fixed rate interest. Who wouldn't? I mean, how many people are waiting for that right now before they buy? It's 4.9 right now if you come in, with their preferred lender, and you get $25,000 in concessions. You can basically pay your down payment or your closing costs and everything, or even get more of a temporary rate buy down if you want to. All these things that you could do with all that money. You're right. And you can talk about that. I want you to do a video like that for those in your farm. How many of you think of your farm? How many builders are there right now? Do you even know? Isn't that crazy? You should know. Right? I think of Eagle Mountain right now. You know how many home builders we have in Eagle Mountain right now? 12 home builders right now doing different developments in there. Have you heard of Firefly out there? How many homes are they building? Did you hear? 8,700 homes. Yeah. 8,700 homes in this one area. And they're just one of 12. It's nuts what's going on out there. If you think our market and the real estate market is depressed, and you guys are depressed because it's depressed, you know what I'm saying, and we feel that way. If you think of those builders out there, they're still going forward, and they're still selling. If they have to offer concessions to sell, they will. Right? If you've got sellers out there that are like, no, my house is worth what it was worth 2 years ago, and multiple offers, and I'm not coming down, and if I can't sell it for this much, I don't want to sell it anyway. How many of you run into the people like that? And they're just like reluctant sellers. I promise you, your builders are not reluctant. And if you want to be able to help, your buyers or get buyers to want to work with you, this is a great way to do it. Make sense? So that's what you want to do on Fridays. I want you to create the video. You can also create a video about the Pathway to Qualification program. Sit down with your lender and do that, and do it also with the equity assessment. If you feel like I don't really know how to explain how to leverage equity. See this guy right here, Matt, who's got to go, I guess, right now. If you don't have someone like Matt, find someone or get your lender to talk about how to leverage equity, because you can sit down with Matt and have a video and talk about what it means to take equity that you have in your home and invest up, go move up, downsize, you relocate whatever you want and do it and be in a better financial position and even maybe save money per month because you've got other investments. Other costs, cars and other things like that you can pay off. It's crazy what you can do.
Will you share my info with everybody?
I sure will. Be happy to. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Okay. And then again, you've got lenders that you work with. Say, I want to do a video with you to talk about the Pathway to Qualification program so I can explain it better. What's going to happen when they come in? What are you going to ask them? What's going to help a first-time buyer buy their first place when it comes to how much money they need to put down and what it really takes to buy and what kind of interest rate they can get, and should they be worried about PMI and all those things that lenders talk about, right? That lender talk, and they can start helping you explain to your renters why they should come in and have this appointment. Does that make sense? And do the same thing on the equity assessment side of it. You've done that, right? There's only 2 videos you do there. So now the next step you could take, I want you to attend your city council and economic development committee meetings in your farm, right? And then I want you to create a video about the next development that's coming up. If you are going to work Eagle Mountain, I'm just saying this because I know it out there because that's the area I'm in, right? That's where I live, is if you just did a video about Firefly, you could literally do a video about what's going on over there. 8,700 homes. Did you know Google's building a data center out there? Facebook's building a second data center out there. They're building a Walmart super center out there. They've got, I don't know if you heard, but in Saratoga Springs, they have in their plans this incredible civic center that's going to have, I don't know how many miles of it is. It is basically, how many of you like to go to the outdoor shopping with the farmers markets and stuff? They're building this crazy cool, at least that's in the plan, that they're going to start building in this year, this huge civic center with outdoor shopping and farmers market stuff. It's crazy. If you haven't seen it, why not do a video about it? You move to Saratoga Springs right now, you might think that it's a little far west, a little out there, but you're on the lake, you get mountain views in front and behind you, and they've got all of these business. You basically can live there. When we first moved out there, we literally had to drive out to Lehigh and other places to go shopping and other things like that. Now it's all right in the area, right? So do a video like that. Level 2, if you're going to knock your neighborhood and your farm, here's some ideas if you're going to do that. 1, go up to your neighborhood and don't start with, hey, I'm a real estate agent and I'm trying to help you buy or sell your property. Say, I'm the expert I'm the real estate agent for this area. Go ahead and own it. But say, I also, I love to interview neighbors to talk about what they love about living here. I like to get to know the people that are here and what motivates them. And do you know about, all this new building? What do you think about what's happening with Walmart coming in? You'll get some, positive and negative things that are being said, but get to know the people and why they live there. And then send them all a letter after you go and knock the doors that say, if you're thinking of selling, I can provide you a free value assessment. If you got your laptop with you, or not your laptop, your tablet, you can actually do a CMA right there with them. For example, you could knock a door and you could say, what do you think about all the new building that's going on in here? You're just trying to get to know people when it comes to real estate. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I've had people say this to me. Walmart's coming in. They're building 8,700 homes over there. Guess what they're thinking? They've been living there for 10 years. Guess what is on their mind? I want to get out of here. Literally, they're like, I don't want to live here. And when I bought here, it's because it was a nice, quaint little place. Now it's like crazy. The traffic is nuts. It takes me 45 minutes just to get to I-15, or something like that, right? So what's that going to give you an opportunity to help them do? Sell their home. So don't be afraid to knock doors, but don't go out there as a gunslinging, with a bunch of business cards and say, hey, you want to buy or sell? You ready to buy or sell? Do you know someone ready to buy or sell? And make it all about that kind of stuff. I'm an agent. I want to help you buy or sell. Don't talk about that. Ask them, hey, I live here too. I'm out there, I'm a real estate agent in this area, and there's so many changes, and you could start mentioning them. Walmart's being, all that kind of stuff I just mentioned. What do you think about the changes? What do you like them? Are they good? Or what would you like to know? Would you like information about what's going on? I actually provide information because I go to city council meeting every single month, and I go to the economic development committee meeting, and I pull information about that, and I provide it to anybody who wants it. How many neighbors would say, oh, I don't want that, right? You're in real estate. Offer something that they care about. And if they start complaining because it's just too crazy, say, I can tell you what your house is worth, because of all of this movement in here, people are basically selling their homes for good money, even now. Would you like to know what your house is worth? I know, and you might know this because you've done it. The house down the street just sold for $950,000. Are you kidding me? I bought mine for $400,000 4 years ago, or 10 years ago. It's worth that much? Yeah. Would you like me to send you an assessment? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Door knocking does not have to be a very, not just grueling, but kind of, does it ever make you feel less than if you go door knocking? Like I'm desperate and I'm not a professional, I have to knock a door. Yeah, it is that way if you don't have anything to offer, or if you're just giving cookies or something like that. But if you're out there providing information about the community and what they think about it and trying to gather information, interviewing, if a neighbor just loves it here, dude, I would love to put this up on Facebook with all the people that are buying out in this area, why you love living here. Can I do an interview with you? You can come up with those neighbor interviews even before you have a listing. So much opportunity when it comes to that. This is another great idea that I love. Talk to a property manager in your farm. Now, here in Utah, if you're a licensed property manager, what can't you do? You can't be a licensed property manager and manage properties and also be a licensed agent, even though you're a licensed agent, and buy and sell properties. You know that? Yeah, you're not supposed to do both, at least as far as I understand it. So what they're doing is if you're a property manager, you're a property manager, but they're still licensed. So guess what they get? Referral fees. And I've met many that like this. So this is what I'm going to throw out there. And I don't know what it's like in other states in terms of what they allow or don't allow. But property managers have a database full of what? Renters. You introduce your Pathway to Qualification program to them and say, you help me market to all your renters about buying their first property because they're going to buy anyway, right? You help me market to them. If they decide to buy, guess what I'll do? I'll give you your 25% referral fee, your 20% or whatever you feel comfortable with. I'll do all the work on the buyer side. We work together. You can even have classes. I've had agents that have done this, that have literally made a whole business out of just working with property managers and first-time buyers. And all they're doing is they get permission, like in apartment complexes, literally, where nobody else is allowed to do anything. Do you ever try to knock a door in an apartment complex and you got kicked out or something? Some younger agents do this. You go talk to the property manager, say, we have a program that helps first-time buyers get ready to buy. And this program lines them up so that a year or two, and we do it after their lease is up. They'll love you for that because you're not trying to take them out of their lease and stuff like that. What was that? Not necessarily. They have turnover. What we've found is they have turnover. If they can make a couple $1,000s as a licensed agent from a referral fee because you set up that client to buy, and then they bring in another renter, guess what happens when they bring in new renters? They actually get extra money for that. Plus they get the monthly, Well, I'm just saying this has happened. And so you can decide if you want to do that, but this is just one idea out there, right? And then the last level is build your partner database. Take the time to meet with lawyers, to meet with home warranty, title, lenders. Most agents out there are very loose and free with their referral partners. Yeah, I use Title I and Mary sometimes, but sometimes I use someone else and it doesn't really matter to me. And whatever home warranty or whatever, if you actually sit down and meet with these people and strategize with them about how they can help you and you can help them, you could actually get business together better than you can alone. Create a mastermind group. So I've helped agents in other areas create their own mastermind group. And guess what their mastermind group is? All of the affiliates. So it's not a bunch of lenders or a bunch of, that are the same or a bunch of agents. It's basically you're an agent and you have a home warranty person or two. You have a lender or two. Maybe they specialize in different kinds of lending. You have a CPA. You have a divorce lawyer. You have all these people and you're meeting together to talk about how you can help your shared client base. Does that make sense? I want you to build up that database even better. You got contractors, plumbers, electricians. This is what I want you to do on Friday. So Fridays is a day again that level one, you create your videos. Once you've got those videos in place, you're going to keep sending out those videos every now and then. You can update it if you feel like you need to. You're going to do your community go-to agent videos, right? If you get past that and you've done a lot of these, you know, if you need to knock doors, go ahead and knock doors, but make it about them and not about you. Use video to go along with it, but obviously talk about what do you want to know about the community that's going on here. I can tell you, I mean, Jeff and I live in the same neighborhood. I bet if we talk to our neighbors and ask them about what do you think about Walmart, we could have an hour-long conversation with just about anybody in that neighborhood about what they like or don't like about it. You know, it's almost like talking politics when you talk about the way communities change. Have you noticed that? They're passionate about it. What do you want to do about it? You know, I don't know. And I've had people even that I've talked to because we'll just casually bring it up and they're like, I want to get out of here. I've had other people think, oh, I'm excited because the housing prices are going to go up. You know, others, I hope they expand the roads. How many of you know what UDOT's trying to do to expand that area? It looks like, if you know that area, it's starting to look like Dallas. Have you ever seen all the, it's like, I don't even know where you're going to drive. Like they have freeways or expressways crossing over and around other ones. It's like a maze out there. But it's, if they don't know about it, would they be interested in talking with you about it? I bet they would. Okay. Any questions about all this? So here's this video that I want you to do first right away. I sent it to you. I don't know if you watched it, but I want you to do your seller video and then your buyer video. You've all subscribed to YouTube. I don't know if I put this up on the Captivate YouTube. Let me check to see. I know I put it on the Turenda one. There's my 3D tour one. So, oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. Do your 3D tour video. If you've got a 3D camera, make sure you've got this video. When you put these on your pages, it doesn't do the commercials. But here's that 3D video. You remember all this, right? So do your 3D video, okay? And it's an explainer video as well. And then you've got the, let me go here.
So you put all these on your YouTube page?
They all go on the YouTube page. Yeah, so when you create landing pages on the CRM, you can only put YouTube links in there, right? So here, let me go to the CRM and I'll show you. So if I go to search.homes, whether it's a landing page or any of these pages, like here's this 360 video right here. If I play it, this is a link to that YouTube video. See there? And notice how there's no commercial, which is really nice. It actually makes it so that it won't show any commercials or anything like that when it's played here. So you're going to put your videos on your website and you can put them also.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, you put them on YouTube and then you put the link on your website, right? And you can even put videos on your pages that have to do with your open house weekend and those others. Instead of pictures, you can put video in there. Okay? Okay. Just like when you're doing listings and stuff like that. Now, this video is the one I wanted you to do. Where did I put that video? Oh yeah, here it is. So here's the listing video. And did you guys all see this? 100%. Huh? I know, yeah. But I did it in 2 seconds. They knew who I was. And I put my team there. So I think you all saw this, or I sent it to you. If you didn't, I sent you the script. You can change it up as you want to, but what I'm going to show you, I'm not going to do it in these sessions, even next week, because next week I'm going to talk about the pathway to qualification conversation and the home equity assessment conversation, and then we'll be done. And then our job, Braden and Jeff and I, and Eric and others that are involved in this is to make sure that all the landing pages, all the smart plans, all the segments, the pipeline, and all those are all put together. It might take us a few weeks, by the way, or a couple of weeks. We're hoping not too much longer. And then we'll send it out to all of you, and I'll send you messages about that so you know. Now, we won't affect, like if you've got a set up on your page and you don't want it to be overwritten, we'll work with you to figure out how to make it, to update those things without it affecting your pages, okay, your site.
The next week is the last.
Next week is the last one, yeah. as far as a formal class like this goes to. I'm still going to be doing an every Monday online session for anybody that joins us after this, which you can still participate in. You still have access to all of the courses online. So basically, Captivate Agent will be a series of coaching from me, mostly the why and the what. And then Braden and Eric and others will be doing the how when it comes to here's how to do certain videos, which will hopefully be introduced to you usually during the time that you need it. So you don't have to go search a library or try to remember everything. It'll basically, a smart plan will come up and say, hey, you need to do this. Like it'll remind you for your smart plan to do your video like this one. You're like, well, wait a second, I don't remember how to do that. So you have a link that will show you how to do it with examples right there in that reminder. Does that make sense? So that's what we're putting together for you. But what I want you to do is to create this video first. Now notice as I go through this, I actually show, that we don't just put your home on the MLS, Zillow, Realtor.com, and Truly like everybody else. We also advertise on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I can't tell you how many people that sticks out to them a ton. Like every other agent, they just put you up on YouTube, or on the MLS, right? We're pointing out, you'll be on Zillow. I've had many clients, I didn't realize this. Many clients didn't realize as agents, we can put them up on Realtor.com and Zillow. They think we're going to do that as an extra thing. They don't realize it's just a propagated, it just does it automatically. But when we tell them that we put them on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and then I show them, and this is what I want you to do. This kind of So what I'm going to do is provide you with this B-roll. So if you don't have your own right now, you can just add it to your video. When you have your own, do that if you want to. But I'll show you through a course that's not up there yet. You've been to it, hopefully most of you, that Go To Agent course where I show you how to edit video. But that's what I'm going to recommend you do. You can use any editor that you want, that you feel comfortable with. You don't have to use what I'm going to show you. But I want it to be quick and easy. But it's nice when you're showcasing something in a video that it's not just you talking about it, you showing it as well. So if you want to use the little clips that I have, or I'll show you where there's other clips you can get that are royalty free, or you create them yourself and overlay them, you can showcase, yeah, this is what I do when I list a home. When you talk about what you do as a buyer agent, you can show them the app that you have. When you drive a neighborhood, you can see all the homes around you. Click on the one, and if you like it, tell me you want to see it, and I'll see it. I'll get that notice, right? So that's the buyer side, which I'll show you next week. I haven't finished that video for you to see it because I'm going to redo it. But I'll give you the script and everything, and then I'll give you the B-roll that if you want to use, unless you want to use your own B-roll. Does that make sense? So those are the videos I want you to do. So again, to finish up today, Friday's your day to level up. If you've been struggling doing video, or whatever, you're going to start doing a lot of video. If you need more leads and you need to knock a neighborhood, I'll show you how to do it and get more leads. If you need to buy leads, if you need to set up your partner database, you need to start focusing on that, but do it on Friday. How much time do you spend? 1 hour. So if you're going to do a video, let's say that you have to go out and do it, or you have to go to a meet with a seller. A sales agent at a builder, right? You can't do that maybe at 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So this can be used as your time to make the appointment or the commitment to go and do that. Okay. So that's a little bit different here. Is on Friday, you might say, okay, here's my strategy. I'm going to level up with this strategy. My strategy is I'm going to take my hour and I'm going to find all the new build communities or the builders in my farm. So that's the time that you do that. And then you'll have to set another time during the week, or maybe later in the day, whatever you want to do, to call up one of those sales agents, say, hey, I'm an agent. I want to come by and ask you about what your incentives are and what you're doing to help my buyers know why they should buy from you. I promise you, there's not one sales agent out there that won't jump up and down for you and take you out to lunch and everything if you do that with them. So take advantage of that. Do a video with them, but you may need to do this video at another time and edit it at another time. So this is the only thing that might go beyond the actual hour to complete the task, but it'll be your time to strategize and commit to what you need to do. Does that make sense? Okay. So I've said this so many times now, you should all have it memorized. Monday is what day? What are you going to do every Monday? You're going to do your social media posts. How much time are you going to spend on your social media posts? 1 hour, no more. If you only get 2 scheduled out, it's better than when you didn't have any, right? So be fine with it. The next week you get 3 scheduled out. The next week 4. All of a sudden you're doing Braden's and you got 5 scheduled out within 20 minutes. Now I got more time. So what do? I'm going to create a quick video to go with one of those. I'm going to boost one of those. Do you see what I'm saying? Your hour will become more effective and more efficient and better at generating the leads that you're trying to do. That's what you do on Monday. You do it for the whole week. So guess what? You don't have to worry about the rest of the week. Social media. Unless someone comes in and says, hey, I saw that house you posted, or I saw that, that link that you gave. I'm interested. That's when Tuesday through Thursday happens, because if they respond to any of that because of our CRM, guess where you're going to see that? In your people section. You'll see them engaged. So look at your last response, right? The latest response, I think, is one, and also look at the overall lead score, and then just go down the list. Look at what they're doing. Add, update information. Once you finally feel like, okay, I really understand what this person is doing and why they've engaged with me, now give them a call. Then get them into an appointment or whatever is going to be next. Add engagements. Send them a property alert. Send them a market report. Send them a CMA. Send them a home report. Let the system do its job. But if you don't do your job by knowing what they need and what they're engaged with, you're going to lose those opportunities. Does that make sense? Super easy. Tuesday through Thursday. If by any reason you run out of people to contact, you need to add more people. So then you're going to have to do other things, buy leads, knock doors. But I'll give you more ammunition and more ability to close more deals, not feel awkward about it. You're not giving out cookies anymore. You're giving out cool information and support and help, about what their home is worth, and you can literally knock doors in your neighborhood and talk to neighbors about what's going on in the community. I promise you, they are not going to think you're weird or think you're below, a status of a professional person, as a real estate agent, when you start talking about the community developments and things like that. Okay. And then on Friday, you level up. Okay. I haven't been good at doing videos, so I'm going to create my videos. Once you've done these and you're going to get better at it, now imagine every time a new lead comes in that's a seller, I send out my video. And what I do, just so you can see what it looks like, let me share. This is the last thing I'll share on my screen, and then we'll be done. But let me share with you, the text that I send out when I get a new lead that's a seller. Hopefully I can find one quickly. So I'm prepared for this. And that was someone else. Sorry, now they're seeing all the stuff that they have to take out now. I do way too many texts, don't I, here? Should have had one all set up and ready to go. Oh, yeah, she's my renter. Okay, here's John. Okay, we'll do this one right here. So this is someone I'm working with right now. So as soon as the lead came in, hey, John, this is Mike Anderson. Sorry, I missed you. I left you a message. I'll send you some more information about our listing services. Then this is that link to the video I just showed you that, actually this is the old one, but I showed you the new one. Then sell your home with Mike Anderson. If they click on this, I always send in this link. Guess where this goes? As soon as they click on it, time to sell your home. We designed this specifically because we know that this is what they interact with. If I had a big picture of myself and said I'm an awesome agent, they don't respond to it. I can't tell you how many people, as soon as it says this, they click on it and they fill this out. As soon as they fill this out, they get a response. They get an estimate and a response. It goes in my database and it lets me know, right? They're looking to find out what their house is worth. If they decide to scroll down, it gives them information about the things that I do that beat competition in real estate sales and advertising. And then of course the single property website. But how many people look through it? I don't know, unless it, shows me that they did, or they clicked on something, which the system will. But many of them probably don't. But then, whoops, I went to the wrong place. After that, I send them the link to my Canva, the services here. And then you can see he responded to this. He came here. Hey, Mike, thanks for getting back to me. I have someone else coming over. If that doesn't work out, I'll give you a call. What does that mean? He had someone else contact him that got that same lead, right? But I sent him this information, and then I said, let's jump on a quick video and I'll show you what we offer and what we can sell. Hey, Mike, I apologize for not returning your message. I've been trying to work things out with my wife, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the address. He pulled up all that information that and he clicked on it and got that information. I got the deal. His house goes on the market tomorrow, by the way. Do you know anybody trying to buy in Salt Lake? Really awesome home. It's right in downtown Salt Lake area, 4-bedroom, 3. I'm selling the place. But anyway, that's what's great about doing this. If I hadn't done this, and he didn't answer when I called him on that lead, what would have happened to that lead? Nada, nothing. But I sent my video, I sent my link to that page, I sent my agent services, which again, if you don't remember, looks like this, right? And this is how, Upnest at least is telling us we convert more sellers than anybody they send to. So the conversion rate that we get for the number that they send us is higher than anybody they have. And it's not because I'm better than these other agents. It's because I provide better information, in my opinion. Okay. And the system helps to take over where I can't always keep reaching out to them. Okay. Whew. Went through another long session, but I hope you know that at this point in our time together, this power hour is going to be the difference between you basically staying where you're at, but now you got a system that has some cool stuff to it. And you keep your people in a nice database. And basically what you could probably get on your own in many ways, maybe it's a little better in some way. You start doing this power hour, that's when your production doubles, triples, quadruples. 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, follow the plan. We'll have smart plans to remind you so you don't forget. And Braden's beautiful smiling face will tell you how to do it if you forgot. Okay? Questions? Anything online?
No.
Okay, you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for the last session. Don't miss it. If you want to know how to talk equity and you want to know how to get people to come in on the pathway to qualification, I will show you how that happens next week. Everybody in your database is either a renter or a homeowner. And if you don't have them actively engaged with you, talking about buying their first place or leveraging equity, you're missing out on all the opportunity of your entire database. See you next week.